So you're gonna be feeling tired, stuck. sis, sis, eating salad and eating just vegetables will keep you tired, stuck, and bloated. Having 10,000 steps every day will keep you way tired, stuck, bloated, stressed, burnout. Sis, you're doing too much. You don't need to do all of that. And the reason why this is happening is because you're not eating the right composition of food. You're not eating the right macronutrient, especially protein. Sis, yes, the only reason this is happening is because your foods are not balanced. And you're going to say to me, oh, I'm eating enough protein because I calculated my protein and it's working for me. Sis, you cannot use one-time protein calculation to work for all aspects of your life, basically all seasons of your life. Your protein intake, depending on your season of your life, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your circle, will be different. So sis, your protein intake has to be calculated several times. You need to watch it, and it doesn't take a lot of calculation, but the variations matters. And in today's video, I want to show you 3 good reasons why your protein habits are sabotaging your energy and your body composition, and how you can fix that right away. So let's get into the video. My name is Titilayo. I'm a fitness and wellness coach, and we are going to be talking about protein. So sis, let's talk about the first point of protein. Yes, calculating your protein. So you already know that rough figure of amount of protein that you should eat. And these are the little mistakes that a lot of people do. Number one, the first mistake they do is, they don't even calculate their protein intake. They just pluck out a number and say, oh, she's eating 100 grams of protein a day. I'm going to eat 100 grams of protein a day. That should work for me. And you start eating 100 grams of protein. You actually think you're eating 100 grams of protein. So you pick up what's it called? Like a chicken breast, and it says, oh, it's got 50 grams or 40 grams. And you say, oh, I'm going to have maybe the whole of that or half of that. I'm going to have 2 to 3 eggs. And you kind of just estimate it, say okay, chicken breast, I've eaten chicken breast, that's 40 grams of protein. I'm going to have 2 to 3 eggs. So that's 60 grams of protein. And then I'm just going to have maybe 1 steak, and that's 30 grams of protein. Oh, I think I've done enough for the day. I have eaten 100 grams. And you just think, oh, I've eaten 100 grams. Sis, you're not weighing the actual amount of cooked protein. So I'm not talking about the raw protein. Once your protein is being cooked, you weigh it on the scale just to be sure you're getting that amount. You're not weighing it. Even your eggs, you estimating that, oh, you bought small eggs, and then you estimating it with a large protein intake on a large egg, and you think that is going to work for you. And then you think, oh, I've done that. I had maybe 25 grams of protein in my yogurt and stuff like that. You think, oh, I'm reaching 100 grams. Sis, your calculation is not right. It's not accurate. Have you even weighed it on the scale? Are you eating the right amount of chicken that you thought you should eat? Are you eating the right amount of steak that you think? Some people even weigh 160 grams of steak, and then they think, oh, because it's 160 grams of steak, that means I might be eating 100 grams of protein. Sis, no, you need to weigh it. Go to the food app, check out how much does 160 grams of protein of meat weigh. How much does 160 grams of meat let's do it again. How much does 160 grams of steak how much protein can I get from 160 grams of steak? This is what you have to do, and you have to wait to be sure that you actually eat 160 grams. Unless you cut your meat precisely the same way, the same amount, then you don't need to do that, calculation. Unless you're taking the whole package from the supermarket and you're eating the whole package, then you don't need to do that calculation. But sis, you need to be sure that what you're eating on a daily basis is actually 100 grams. So let's say you're just eating 100 grams of protein, but is it actually 100 grams of protein that you need? This is where my number 2 comes into place. Sis, right now, you think 100 grams of protein is what you eat because that's what other people are eating. Have you gone to do your actual calculation for your lifestyle? For you to be able to work out the amount of protein you need to do a TDEE. That is a thermal. Oh, I can't remember what the TDEE is. Let's pause. Let me find out what that is. So to find out what your actual protein needs is, firstly, you need to do a TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. So basically, what you need to figure out is, according to your lifestyle now, how are you moving? So there are 4 parts to it, which is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, your needs as well, your thermic effect of food, and your eat, like the how you eat and how your energy is being used. Since these 4 parts, you need to know it. So you don't have to be precise about it, but you need to be able to get a rough estimate, because it allows you to see your total daily energy expenditure and allow you to be able to work out the right amount of protein that you need. You are not only going to be getting the right amount of protein that you need, you are also going to be able to know the right amount of carbohydrate and fat that is essential for you. So what is really important here is protein. Carbohydrates and fat, you can play around with it depending on how you move. If you move a lot, if you're always moving on the go, you work out a lot and you're sitting down a lot, you can always play around it. But your protein intake at this point is very essential, because about 10 to 20% of your protein intake is already used by your body anyway, because your body uses protein as a messenger, as like a transporter to transport all the nutrients to various parts of our bodies, of our cells, where it's needed. So says you need to be able to work that out. So now we've spoken about not just estimating the amount of protein you eat. You need to be able to be sure that you're consistently eating the right amount of protein by weighing it on a regular basis until you're sure that that right amount of protein that you're eating is actually right or corresponds with the figure that you have in mind. So weighing your protein is very important until you get to that right amount. Then 2, you need to do a TDEE, getting your total daily energy expenditure. So every season of your life is going to be different. There are going to be seasons where you are fully energized. You're going to be working hard, like not really working out, but you're going to be working out a lot, like because there is a lot of time, you got the energy, the weather is right, the condition is right. So rather than working out for like 3 to 4 days a week, you just decide, oh, I'm going to do 5 days because I got so much energy. I'm not doing so much at work. The children are energized. I'm on the go with them. So you are doing more. And there are going to be other seasons of your life where you can do a lot. You're just going to be doing like less, like just do maybe 2 days of workout, or maybe even just 1 day of workout, or maybe just even walking. You're not even working out, you're going to have seasons like that. And then you're going to have seasons where you're just like average. And you're going to have seasons where you can't even work out. Sis, those seasons work differently. And for those seasons, there are different amounts of protein that you need, because in some seasons you might need to increase your protein levels a little bit more to give you that balance so that your muscles are kept and are intact and you're not losing your muscle. And in some settings, you might need to like reduce your protein a little bit so that you can eat more carbohydrate. Those are the settings where you're always on the go, you're fully energized, so that you can eat more carbohydrate to energize you and sustain you. And in some seasons, you might just have to like stay on the baseline. So sis, once you know your TDEE, you are going to be able to like vary, the amount of proteins that you're going to be eating. So sis, knowing the how your season of your life works allows you to be able to calculate the right amount of protein so that you're not fixated on that one number and then you feel like my personal trainer told me that I should eat 120 grams of protein. And even though I'm eating 120 grams of protein, it's still not working for me. Sis, you need to vary that number. Okay. So that's the 3 points that I'm going to give you from like my first point. So let's move on to the second point, the second actual point. Pause. So my second point is how protein works with your metabolism. So a lot of women eat little and they think, oh, if I eat less, that means my body will be able to make use of the fat in my body and then I'll lose weight. Yes, that would happen. But then what do you lose? You just don't lose weight. You lose energy. You lose focus. You having more cravings. You cannot energize yourself throughout your day, throughout your meeting. You're tired always. You're irritated. Sis, why are you suffering yourself? So you do not need to eat less, because when you eat less protein, it affects your metabolism. It actually slows down your metabolism. This is when you feel like, oh, I'm not burning enough energy. So some people are going to think, oh, I'm eating less, but I'm still gaining weight. Because your metabolism is slowed down, you slowed it down, you're giving it less food. Because when your muscle rate increases, your muscle tissue actually burns more fat. It burns energy because it takes a lot for it to work and transport itself to various parts of the body. So once you start eating more protein, you are also eating more, which increases your metabolism, and then you are actually burning more energy. But when you're eating less, your body is thinking there is nothing here to do. There is not much food coming in. So why bother? Why do the work? So I was going to say so. Everything in your body is just going to be moving slow because the food you're giving it is less. They don't need to work hard. You're giving them less things to do. But when you give it more protein, oh gosh, especially meat, when you give your body meat, it takes a long time for your body to actually process meat. And that is why a lot of meat eaters, they feel satiated, they feel full of energy. Like me, once I eat meat in the evening, boy, I cannot sleep immediately. It will take me 3 to 4 hours before I can sleep because my body is energized at that point, full, trying to digest that food, trying to work it out. And through that process, I am also losing fat. I am burning energy, even whilst resting. This is why increasing the amount of protein that you eat works wonders. It increases your metabolism. And that is why a lot of people that do the keto diet, the carnivore diet, they get good results. For a while. So, sis, and this is why I want to introduce you. Actually, this is why I want to invite you to my Smart Reset Nutrition Masterclass. My Smart Reset Nutrition Masterclass allows you to fully understand how this food relates with your body, how it affects your metabolism, your energy, how it like gives you the pleasure that you want from food. So it doesn't mean that because you're going to be eating a lot of protein that you're not going to be able to have your pleasurable food. My Smart Reset Nutrition helps you to fully understand how your food can work better for you rather than the other way around. So sis, stop eating little. Stop eating little protein. Okay, you need to eat more of it. Now, the next one. So now we are going to talk about protein and cravings. So the reason why you are having all of those cravings in the middle of the day is because, sis, you're not starting your day right. I'm going to say again, sis, you are not starting your day right. You're starting your day with sugar. And a lot of people have been told that, oh, eating fruits in the morning is healthy. Eating oats in the morning is healthy. Sis, let me tell you, what you're loading your body with is sugar. Firstly, eating so early in the morning, your body does not need food so early in the morning unless you've worked out, unless you've been very, very busy, you've used up a lot of energy in the morning, you've just woken up. Why would you go and eat sugar first thing first, thinking, oh, you need to power up your body? Sis, you're not skinny. You have so much fat in your body. Your body has stored so much fat. So why do you need to load up on sugar? So don't tell me fruits is healthy. Yes, fruit is healthy sugar, but it's still sugar. Okay, oat is healthy. Oat is healthy food mixed with fiber, but it's still fiber and sugar. Fine, you can have oats, but if you're having oats with no protein in it, says what are you doing? Firstly, let's go back to craving. How to reduce your craving? So simple. Stop having sugar in the morning. Okay, let's go back. Sis, don't have sugar in the morning, okay? It's not gonna work for you. It's gonna make your energies crash. It's gonna give you that spike. So this is what happens when you have sugar in the morning. When you have sugar in the morning, especially if you've not worked out, you've not moved your body, you still have a lot of fat in your body has stored, at least you have a good amount of fat in your body has that natural energy anyway to burn. So you load your body with more energy when there is energy already, excessive energy in your body takes it in, and what happens? Insulin spikes high, woo, to the top, and insulin is trying to take that glucose out of your bloodstream, and then for the next 2 hours it's still spiked high, and then before you know it, it crashes. 2 hours later, you're hungry. You have some cravings and you think, oh, a snack break. Let's have some chocolate. And then you have the wrong food because insulin is now asking, oh, you gave me some food this morning, but the food you gave me doesn't have the right nutrient that I need. So insulin girl and rings you up and say, give us some food, give us some food. And then you give it again, more food. This is where your craving starts. This is where your energy rises, then spikes, crashes. 2 p.m., 12 p.m., you're low on energy. You can't just keep going. Sis, you started on the wrong foods. You started wrong. Normally, if you've not worked out in the morning, you don't naturally need food like that because in the society that we live in, we've been made to believe that you should have breakfast. Like literally, do you really need breakfast? Because we have so much fat in us. You don't need breakfast. You don't need to eat first thing first in the morning. It's ideal to actually eat when you feel hungry rather than eating first thing first. But anyway, we all used to eating first thing first in the morning. Sometimes I do eat first thing in the morning. Sometimes I don't, depending on my energy levels, if I'm tired or not. But sis, if you're going to be eating first thing in the morning, start your day with protein. Have up to 30 to 40 grams of protein. You can have eggs, you can have tofu, you can have fish, you can have meat, you can have sausages, you can see there's so much protein. Pair it up with some yogurt, have some fats with it. You can have nuts, you can have avocado, you can even have some salad leaves. You can, oh my God, sis, there are so much options, okay? So right now, to avoid cravings in the middle of the day, to avoid your energy going high and dipping low and then unstable mood, your mood is low, your mood is high. To avoid all of that, says have protein first thing in the morning. if you're going to be eating, or the first time you start to eat for the day, let it be protein, at least 30 to 40 grams of protein first thing. Okay. All right. The next point is pause. So the next point is awareness versus restriction on protein. So rather than thinking, oh, I don't know what to have, protein is too expensive, having too much protein is just being selfish, I don't want to be killing the animals and stuff. Sis, this is where Grow and Train with Me comes into place. In Grow and Train with Me, which is my coaching program, I take you through the step-by-step guidance on how your food matters and how your food works for your result, how you can energize this body to bring your vision, your dreams into reality, how you can feel confidence inside out. And it all starts with your mind, because whatever you feed your mind with would always reflect in your life. And that also includes the amount of food that you're eating, inclusive of protein, inclusive of carbohydrates. Because when you are aware how the food that you eat works for your body, it says that is a whole lot of power that you are now aware of, and you can now decide how you want to use it. And with Grow and Train with Me, we don't work on restrictions. I don't tell you, stop eating this, stop eating that. Says it's about you learning how to personalize your diet, because with protein, it gives you clarity, because protein basically is the building blocks of life, and protein is needed in every facet of our life. And when you start eating more of it, when you are aware of the benefit, you're gonna stop thinking protein is expensive. Eating more of protein just means you're killing more animals. This There are many ways on how to do it. It's not about the protein itself. It's about your mind. It's about changing it, because when you start eating more protein, you're going to stop eating less of the things that doesn't matter, less of the carbohydrate, the bread, the rice, the yam, the potato. I'm not saying those things are not good. You can keep eating them, but you're going to now start eating less of it because your body doesn't need it. The only people that need a little bit more of it are like teenagers, children in their growing phase, that they need to grow physically. But for women over 30, you are not growing physically anymore. You now need to grow emotionally, mentally. Yeah, there are other aspects, and spiritually, there are other aspects of it. And this is where Grow and Train with Me comes into place. It's a fantastic community for women, high achieving women that are juggling a lot, that they've got these roles in the society. They're a mother, business owners, doing a 9 to 5 job, or in the corporate ladder, trying to be, to grow your career. You are a CEO, head of department, you're working at home, you're working in the office, you are maybe a wife, you are a volunteer, you're doing just so much. How are you going to be able to fit in the time to think about you and to do the things that actually matters for your body, your vision, your goals, and to be able to balance everything without burning out? Sis, this is why Grow and Train with Me is a container to keep you structured, to give you that life of ease, speed, and balance. So yes, you are already working on full speed, but sis, you want ease, you want balance in your life. Grow and Train with Me gives you that structure where every routine, every role in your life is balanced, and the chicken who is hatching the golden eggs can fully take care of herself, so that when she produces her eggs, they are of good quality that can multiply. Because sis, if you do not take care of yourself, if you do not take care of your body, your mind, sis, you are going to be producing bad eggs that are not multiplying by itself. And at the end of the day, you are going to burn out. You are going to be stressed. Your body will be disintegrated. And this is where diseases, illnesses start showing up. This is where a lot of things start happening externally. So sis, you do not want to wait for that to happen to you before you know you have to fix it. Because when that happens, you are going to now have to like stop everything so that you can refocus and do a smart reset. But rather than stopping everything to focus and reset the body and mind, why don't you just join a coaching program just like mine so that you can have that structure and start resetting in beats with ease, with balance, with flow, so that everything around you can start flowing easily, so that you can start feeling good inside out, so that you can feel energized, focused, and liberated every day. Grow and Train with Me is a best coaching program that I have seen that integrates fitness, mindset, and lifestyle together. Sis, you are already an high achiever, but you want to maintain that. You don't want to be running around. You don't want to be burnt out. You don't want to be stressed. You don't want to achieve all your results, but yet you cannot enjoy it because you did not prepare the body, the mind for it to actually enjoy it. Sis, join my group and join my coaching program today, and I can promise you it will be the best investment that you've made in yourself. So we are gonna like round up right now, and we are gonna talk about we are gonna recap on what we learned so far. What we learned so far. Slow down, sis. Slow down, sis. Now, we are going to do a recap on what we learned today. So, the first thing we learned today is that eating the right amount of protein matters, and knowing the right amount of protein that you eat on a daily basis matter. Sis, you want to make sure that the amount of protein you're eating for every season of your life is just about right. Okay, you want to make sure that is working for you. 2, protein and metabolism. If you keep eating very low, you are going to slow down your metabolism. And when you slow down your metabolism, you are going to gain more fat no matter how much healthy you eat, no matter how much 10,000 steps you do or 20,000 steps you do in a day, no matter how many hours you spend in the gym. You're not going to be losing much. That's what they call skinny fat. You're just going to be gaining weight. Your muscle is going to be reducing, and then your fat stores would just be there or increasing. So sis, pay attention to the amount of protein you eat. Now the third bit is that we'll learn is how protein affects cravings or make your cravings get louder, that you end up eating more foods or food that you're not meant to eat. So I have given you like 3 main points, and I have also told you about the Smart Reset Nutrition Masterclass. You need to join right now. It's going to be hot. You are going to be receiving a lot of self-help guidance that you can put into place and start seeing the effect on your body, on your lifestyle, because December is just around the corner. You don't want to go into December eating blindly. And yes, with my Smart Reset Nutrition Masterclass, you will learn how to eat effectively for the season without restricting yourself and be balanced. And then you're going to come out of the season without gaining so much weight that you find it hard to lose. So sis, do not miss that opportunity. Join the Smart Reset Nutrition Masterclass. Until next time, it is Titilayo, your expert in fitness and wellness for high achieving women. Pow! Take care.